Good morning, everyone. What's up, all my lions and lionesses? This is Sean Woodward, and I'm from Why I'm a Lion, and this is your daily motivational huddle. So this week we're talking about self-discipline, and this is part 2 to that. I'm going to talk about some key things that you should be doing and that you should concentrate on in order to build in that self-discipline, because as we all know, those that are more self-disciplined tend to have long-term success. So it's a big key ingredient. It's not the only ingredient, but it's definitely an ingredient that needs to be there when you talk about the secret sauce. So let's talk about it a little bit more. Self-discipline. So let's talk about financial. That's a big thing right there, is financial. So we're talking about individual financial success. We're talking about having the right self-discipline when it comes to your personal finances. So number one, it's going to be pay yourself first. Always. Don't pay your bills. Don't do anything else. Don't let any money leave your account. You have money coming in, pay yourself, and then you pay everything else. It's a old school way, I guess. I don't know how else to word it. An old way, an old saying. Some people use a 10% aspect. That's something that I've used in the past, where I've paid myself 10% of whatever my net earnings were, because obviously, if you're working a regular job, the taxes already come out, right? If you're not working a regular job, and let's just say it's your own business, or it's something else, or some type of investment that you're getting, money back through the funnel, you pay yourself the money. So you take 10%. 10%. It's an easy way to remember to do that as you're getting paid, whether you're getting paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever the case is, you grab your 10%. If you want to grab more, but always pay yourself first. And then the second thing, and this is a big thing, is you need to limit the amount of consumer debt you're incurring. If you're going to incur any kind of debt, there's good debt and there's bad debt. Good debt would be some type of asset, some type of, something that's going to generate you income coming in, right? So that would be something to be considered good debt. Bad debt is going to be anything that's considered a liability or an expense. You need to limit the amount of liabilities that you have. You have to have more in the asset column. You have to limit the amount of things that you have in the liability column. So what you need to do is you need to be self-disciplined to make sure that, you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses and you're trying to buy whatever it is. And, oh, my neighbor just bought a car, or I need to do this or that. And listen, I'm in the car business, so it's like I want to sell as many of these liabilities as possible. But the thing is we're talking about something different right now. We're talking about you. We're talking about self-discipline. We're talking about, how to be successful. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to buy those type of liabilities. There's other ways to look at that. So some of the things that I've been taught through the years is you have to make sure that you have an asset that is going to go ahead and pay for that liability. And that's another self-discipline aspect. So once you have the asset that's going to pay for the liability, then you go ahead and you buy the liability. So these are all principles, but those are the two biggest things. The third thing was, just as I just mentioned, is that do you have an asset that's going to pay for the liability? So that's something to look at. So you have to be self-disciplined with your personal finances. So those are the main 3 things that I live by. Is number 1, pay yourself. Number 2 is you need to make sure that you're not incurring, a large sum of consumer debt. That is bad debt. You don't want to incur that. Number 3 is you want to make sure that if you are going to incur a liability, that you have an asset that's going to be able to pay for that. So that's some type of investment. It could be real estate. It could be stocks, bonds, whatever the case is, but you have something that's going to go ahead and pay for that, and something that you've earned the money on to be able to pay for that liability. So those are the 3 key things for me for self-discipline when it comes to the finances. So definitely, hey, listen, take the advice, don't take the advice, whatever the case is, but I'm telling you right now, that's how you're going to start building up your wealth. It's definitely helped me through the years. I've made all the mistakes. I've had bad consumer debt. There's consumer debt that I'm still digging myself out of right now, but that just goes to show you how far that pushes you back through the years, all right? But you need to add as many assets and things of that nature to be able to pay for the liability. So, just take from my word for it. don't take my word for it, whatever the case is, but this is just something that you need to be self-disciplined on an every single day. It needs to be something that you're looking at every single day. I look at my finances every single day. I recommend that for you too, because as I'm doing it, my wealth is starting to increase. And listen, I'm going to be on my way to be able to have my wealth be able to last multiple generations, and that's one of my goals. So have a big day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.